This is a Telegram bot that is running on my phone that can access any large language model I want. It connects to my n8n platform, and let me show you how it works. If I type, for example, use DeepSeek, I will get an answer from DeepSeek. If I say use Grok, I will get answer from Grok. And I can get answer from GPT-5, Gemini, whatever I want. This bot has basically access to any available language model that you could think of. And I will show you how to build that all, and don't worry, you don't need any previous experience. With n8n, it's easier than you think. Let's get started then. But first, we need that Telegram app installed, yes? Telegram is a chat program, something like a WhatsApp or Messenger, that you can install on your phone, and it is bound to your telephone number. You just go to Google Play or App Store and you install Telegram on your phone, just like any other app. And once you have it installed on your phone, you can also authenticate this app on other devices like your laptop or PC, which means that you can run it on any device that you want. And once we have that Telegram up and running, we need to create a chatbot in that Telegram application, so we can use it to connect to our AI agents. You have to go to BotFather. It's at BotFather, you have to type, and when this window opens, you have several options here, and you need that new bot. You can see create a new bot. That's exactly what we need. I click on that, and it says, alright, new bot. How do you want to call it? And I will call it, you can call it anything you want. I will call it Automation Avenue Bot. That's it. And now you have to choose the username for your bot. And it must end with bot. It's either bot or underscore bot, as per the examples. I will try to copy-paste it, but note that it has to be not in use currently by anybody else. So let's check if that one is available. Oh yes, it is. And that's it. That's my bot created already. And what's the most important here is your API token. You've got here the API token that we will be able to use in n8n to bind n8n with this Telegram application. Note that this API key is very important. You don't want to share it with anybody. I mean, I am showing this to you, but in fact I will remove this bot as soon as I complete this video. But remember, this is something like a password for you, and you need to keep it safe. But honestly, that's all we need here. We are already done with Telegram. Next step is to run our n8n automation platform somewhere. And one of the options to run n8n is to use their own n8n cloud solution. But that costs quite a lot of money every month, and to be honest, it has quite a few limitations. That's why you might consider using Hostinger instead. Hostinger has recently become a very popular option for self-hosting n8n because they offer a VPS that comes pre-configured with everything you need to start creating your automations. Just go to hostinger.com/automationavenue and it will take you directly to the landing page for that self-hosted n8n virtual private server. You simply scroll down a little bit and you will see all available VPS plans. This is where you choose the size of your server. And again, the KVM2 is one of the most popular ones, because this is really more than enough for n8n to run, but it also has a very good price. It has 2 CPUs, it has 8 GB of RAM, 100 GB SSD drive. That's really plenty to just host an n8n platform. Then you choose how long you will need this server for. You can pick 1, 12 or 24 months. The longer the period, the lower the price. For 2 years, it's a $6.99 a month. And the fact is, Hostinger is a sponsor of today's video, and they gave me a code that you can use, and the code is Automation Avenue. Once you apply that code, you will get 10% extra off that price. Whatever the price is, you will get 10% extra off. Then you just continue, and you have to register. If you don't have an account already, I mean. I will create a new account, and then it will get you to this page, where you choose a location for your server. By default, the closest location will be chosen, but if you want to build a server on the other side of the world, that's up to you, you can change it here. But I will stick to United Kingdom, it's fine, so I click Next. And here, you can choose either plain OS, you can choose CentOS, Debian, etc. But what we are interested in is the application. And you can choose here, for example, Vanilla n8n. That's what I'm interested in. But you can maybe want to go for the one that has already applied 100 workflows, or maybe so-called n8n in queue mode. But as I said, I'm fine with just n8n. That's what I need. I select it. I create a password so I can log on to my server if I want. It's for SSH connection, and then you can choose if you want to have malware scanner included. I will leave it as it is, which means I can click Finish Setup now. And it says it will take about 5 minutes, but to be honest, it didn't take even 5 minutes. It took much less than that. But you just wait for that process to complete, or you can read the documentation at the bottom in the meantime if you want. But that's basically it. Now you can click that Manage VPS, which is Virtual Private Server, and this is it. This is your server up and running. And if you click that Manage App button, it will take you straight to your n8n application. It couldn't get any easier. But what I wanted to show you is a very important thing, because what Hostinger gives you as well is so-called fully qualified domain name. And that's very important, especially when you want to connect external resources like Telegram or Google or any other resource that want to contact your instance, your n8n instance from outside. That is usually problematic if you host it locally on your laptop or PC. You would have to use Cloudflare tunnel or ngrok tunnel, but here you don't have to do that, because Hostinger not only gave you public IP address, but they also gave you that fully qualified domain name, which can be used to interact with other services. And in fact, you can use that domain to connect to your service. Let's say you don't want to click that Manage App. Maybe you are on another PC and you still want to connect to your n8n application. So you just copy that address, you open a browser and you type https://n8n dot and you paste that address you just copied. Press enter and that also takes you to your n8n application. And because it's hosted in the cloud, in Hostinger Cloud, you can access it from anywhere you want. Because I open it for the first time, it will ask me to set up owner account. So you type like email address, your name, the last name, and you create a password. Then you just click next, just fill in a form, whatever, and that takes you straight to your application. This is your n8n platform up and running. Here you can create workflows, that's basically it. Personally, I don't like that light theme, so you can go to settings, to personal, and you can change that theme to dark theme. I mean, that is at least my preference. And we are ready to build our solution now. These are all 3 tabs opened in another browser. This is Opera browser, but we are at the same stage. That's my Telegram, that's my Hostinger, that's my n8n, and let's connect the Telegram to my n8n. I need to click that plus. The first step is always so-called trigger, and I need that Telegram to be my trigger. I click the Telegram and I say on message. If you check that webhook URL, you can see that subdomain is used for this connection. That's what I meant. HTTPS, n8n, SRV. I mean, you don't have to do anything here, it's just to point out. This is very useful feature that you get with Hostinger server. And the credentials to connect with, we don't have any yet. I need to create a new credential to connect n8n to my Telegram. But the BotFather already created that HTTP API I can use. I just copy that, I copy selected text, and paste this access token here. And I save it. And it should give me, that's what we need, credential successfully created and connection tested successfully. And it's optional, but let me change this credential. I will call it, I don't know, Telegram n8n maybe. I know that's the API that connects Telegram to n8n, and I save it. That's all I need here. I can close it now. And if I want to test this step, I can run that execute step. I can see the Telegram is listening for test event, Telegram trigger I mean, which means I can go back to my Telegram. I can now use my bot. It says you will find it at blah blah blah. You can click that little link. No messages here yet, of course, because it's a new bot. I can start it. And now, even I don't have to type anything yet. This already should trigger something, that /start. Starting the bot. If I go back, that's what it is. I can see it's a bot command, and the text inserted was /start. But I can test it further. I will click that execute step again. The Telegram trigger within n8n now listens to any messages coming to the Telegram itself, which means if I go to that Telegram and say, I don't know, hi, how are you? And if we go back, now we can see the text here changed to hi, how are you? The other important thing is that chat ID. We will use it later on. And if you are curious, what the heck, Marek, is that date? This is something called epoch time. If you copy that, you can run something like epoch time translation, I don't know, epoch converter. Oh, you paste it here, timestamp to human date, It is indeed today's date and the hour and up to the second, but it's called epoch time. Doesn't really matter, because we will not use this one. It's just if you're curious why it's in that weird format. But that means our Telegram trigger works as expected, which means also we can go back to Canvas and we can continue our build. Let me maybe move it to the left. And now let's configure the first AI agent. I click on that plus and I say AI agent. You can see it here. We will first build a simple solution with just one large language model, and once we've got that up and running, we will add more and more large language models. We have to simply understand what is going on under the hood. And the source for prompt, that's the first thing we want to change it here, because it's not connected chat trigger node, it's chosen by default. We want define below. We want to define it ourselves. It's simply the information for AI agent, what it is supposed to do here in this workflow. And I will write a very simple prompt. Maybe something like take the output from. And from where? Well, on the left side, we have the previous node. It's a Telegram trigger, and we can see its output. And honestly, the only output I'm interested in is that text. Hi, how are you? Because we are going to send some text in our Telegram message, and I'm not interested in anything else. I just want to pass that message to my AI agent. Whatever is on the left is the previous node, here is the current node, the AI agent, and on the right you've got output, which is the processed data. Nothing here because there is nothing processed. But once AI agent processes the data, it will go here on the right as an output. So I want to grab that text from the Telegram. I will just grab it here. Take the output from this field, whatever is in this field. If we switch to JSON, it's a JSON under message, under text. Whatever is here, let's go back to schema maybe. Whatever is in that box, in that field, and respond back. Couldn't get any simpler, really. The full instruction is to just grab this text and respond back to that text. That's all we need to set here. I will now go back to Canvas. But we can see the AI agent is not happy, because it doesn't have any chat model attached. Let's attach the chat model then. I click on that plus. And here you can use different, like Anthropic, Azure, DeepSeek, many LLM models, but the easiest way to access all models, not specific ones like Grok or Gemini, you can go to OpenRouter chat model, and OpenRouter provides you API access to nearly every single LLM model that is available in the world, really. But that means you need an account with OpenRouter. You just have to go to openrouter.ai, create your account, and you immediately have access to some freely accessible LLM models. But not all models are available for free, of course. If you want to use the paid ones as well, then you have to go to your account, to credits, and you have to add some money to your account. As you can see, I've got $6.50, and in 2 months I used only $1.50. It's really a great way to access many LLM models from one single source. But what I need to do here, I have to go to API keys, and I have to create new API key. I just call it, let's say, Telegram to n8n maybe. You can set the limit for that API key. Let's say if you reach $2, that API key will stop working, but I will not do that. But it's up to you. I will just create it. And once you've got that API created, you have to copy it immediately, because it will not show up again. You would have to create yet another API key. But now I've got that API key, so I can go back. And in this OpenRouter chat model, I click that credential to connect with. I create new credential, and I can paste my API key. I will change the name again, maybe Telegram also to n8n, so I know what it is about, and I save it. I can see connection tested successfully, that's all we need. I can close it now. And now you can choose any model you want. If you have some credits, if you don't have credits, you can still choose like Olama, or there are models available free of charge, but with some credits available, you can access all of them. And have a look at that. The list is like a never-ending, really. DeepSeek, Google Gemini, Informatic, we've got Meta, Olama, Microsoft, Mistral AI. Mistral is really good, by the way. And we've got Morph, Neuros, OpenAI, GPT models. You've got multiple models. By default, 4.1 mini is chosen, but if you want, you can also use GPT-5 or GPT-5 chat or maybe GPT-5 mini. Well, let's have a look further. Q1 blah blah, hundreds, like I don't know how many of them are here. It's loads and loads of them. I will use GPT-5 mini, but that's basically it. That's all we need here. I can go back now to Canvas. Now the AI agent is happy because it has now OpenRouter chat model. Well, one more thing, I will double click. Maybe I will change the name to GPT-5 maybe, so I know what I chose. Now we go back. I know it's OpenRouter, but we chose GPT-5. One more thing we can add here is a memory. If I click on that little plus here, next to memory, I can choose a simple memory. This is simply for my AI agent to remember the previous conversation. Maybe I want to refer to the previous conversation and ask some further questions. This way, using simple memory, I will be able to do so. Default is 5 previous conversations, but this JSON session ID, it doesn't exist here. I want to change it to, can define below. Basically, that's all I need to remember, just that text window. You will simply remember those fields, what I was talking about previously, or what questions I asked previously. That's all it needs. And it's green now, which means it's valid. We can go back now. That's basically it. That's all we need for our AI agent to work with a single large language model. Let's test it again then. I say execute workflow. My Telegram trigger now listens to new messages. I will go back to the Telegram then, and I will ask maybe this time, hi, who are you? I press enter. I will go back quickly here, and we can already see AI agent works with GPT-5 and they are working on the response. They used simple memory, which means any previous conversation was already looked up, and now I can open this log. At the bottom you've got those logs, yes? I can use that up arrow, and this is the output. And GPT-5 asks, do you mean the assistant previously replied to hi, who are you? Or do you have some specific test? I mean, it kind of works and doesn't work, because we've got output, but we've got this output only here, in this field. If I go back to my Telegram, I can't see this output here, yes? That's because we have one very important component missing. This AI agent now has to send this output back to our Telegram. Currently, I can only see it here locally within the AI agent node. Let's add that Telegram output then. I click on that little plus here and I search for Telegram again. But now, because I want to create that return path, let's say, I will search for send a text message. Here it is. And here, credentials can stay the same. That's a good thing, It might take a little bit longer to configure it first, but then you don't have to configure the credentials again. You can reuse previous credentials. You can create a new one if you want, but you can simply reuse the previous ones. Resource message is correct. Operation is send message, which is correct. But in fact, maybe you want to change it to send photo, or maybe you want to send video, maybe you want to work with different AI models that can generate some photos or videos, etc. That's where you would personalize here, yes, the response. But for me, it's a simple send message. But what I need here is chat ID. That's what I mentioned. While we can see the output is from the previous node, and previous node was AI agent itself, we still can see the Telegram trigger as well. We can see the information from the first node. And the Telegram trigger tells us what the chat ID was actually used. And chat ID is here. And we can respond to the same chat ID. And I can simply grab and put it here. Whatever chat ID is, I will use it here in this field. And the text, note that I am no longer interested in this original text. I am interested now in the output from my AI agent. So I drag this instead. This is the response of my AI agent to my original question. And that's what I need to put back to the Telegram channel. And I can simply execute step here. I will reuse those details. If I execute the step, bam, node executed successfully. If I go back to my bot, have a look. Now I can see the response here in my Telegram application as well. The one thing that I don't like is that this bottom line, this message was sent automatically with n8n. This is not what I want to see. I can change it easily. I can go back to the workflow. And here there is this little button add field, yeah? And the very first choice, append n8n attribution. You click on that, you disable it, and now if I execute the step, it says executed successfully. If I go back, I indeed have the same information again, but with no, this message was sent automatically. It's now just the message I want to see. Let's test it one more time maybe, but let's test full workflow. I will go back. I say execute workflow. My Telegram is listening for new messages, Telegram trigger. So I go to Telegram application and I say maybe, hi, what LLM model are you? Press enter, go back here, it works with GPT-5. It used the simple memory, it was very quick, didn't even see when it happened, and it sent the message back to the Telegram. If I go back to my Telegram application, hi, I'm ChatGPT, a large language model, blah blah blah. So it doesn't say really it's a GPT-5, it just says it's ChatGPT, but never mind. We can see that works as expected. How do I add more LLM models then? Currently I only have GPT-5. How can I add more models? Maybe I want to have DeepSeek, maybe I want to have Grok, etc. It's actually very easy. Let's rearrange it a little bit. Let me move it up. Or you can use this rectangle. No, I don't like it. I want to move it somewhere here. To add other LLM models, it's actually very easy. You've got those tools here. You click that little plus, and now you search for AI. It will show you AI agent tool. That's exactly what we want to use. I click on that, and now my main AI agent, which operates with GPT-5, will now be able to access other AI agents, and I can use different large language models for those other AI agents. Let's say this one I will want to use as a Grok. That will be my Grok. Change the name, and now here in the prompt, I don't want to type anything. I will just use this, like star-like thing, icon. Let the model define this parameter. That's perfectly fine. I just click on that. Because that parent node is AI agent, and this, like a child node, is also AI agent, they will be able to communicate fine. I don't need to tell them what to do. I just change the name to Grok. Prompt will be defined by the model. I can go back to Canvas now. The only thing I have to do here is to connect the Grok chat model for this tool. Let me move it here. I will click on chat model. And you might be tempted to use that Grok chat model, but remember, we can use OpenRouter, and OpenRouter, we already have credentials with OpenRouter, and within this solution, I can search for Grok. Maybe I want to use Grok 3 Mini. I change the name to Grok here as well, and that's as easy as it is. I already have credentials, I just choose different model, I go back to Canvas, and that's it. This tool is called Grok. Let's add another tool. Again, I use AI agent tool. I just click that stars, so the AI agents will talk to each other. I change this name to, I don't know, what shall we choose? Maybe DeepSeek. That's all I need here. I go back. Okay, I messed up the name. DeepSeek. It's not that important, but you know. Here the important bit is chat model. Again, don't search for DeepSeek, it's already here, but we need OpenRouter. That's the all beauty, you know. You just need one account with OpenRouter, and that gives you access to every other large language model. And here within OpenRouter, I search for DeepSeek. Which one shall we choose? Maybe R1, the original one. And I will change it to DeepSeek as well, the name of the model. Let's go back. That's cool. But how our main AI agent knows when to use them, when to use Grok or when to use DeepSeek? Well, it doesn't, in fact. We have to give it instruction when to use this model, when to use that model, or maybe when to use just the default one and do not refer to any other tools, because they are tools, yes? We can do that by double-clicking on our main AI agent, and we just change the prompt. I can click this little icon here to make it bigger, and now I want to change my so-called prompt, which is instruction for AI agent. And I will just maybe copy-paste. I say, take the output from JSON message text, which is still here, because I still want to take the same message from Telegram. If it includes something like use Grok or Grok at the beginning of the message, maybe I will add, then use Grok tool to generate response. If it includes something like use DeepSeek or DeepSeek at the beginning of the message, then use DeepSeek tool to generate response. Once you have that response back, forward it back to Telegram. If there is no specific instruction which tool to use, then just use default chat model and answer straight back to Telegram. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? And that should work in theory. Let's see. Let's go back to Canvas. And now I will execute the entire workflow again. I go back to my Telegram and I say use Grok. Who are you? Press enter. Let's go back quickly. AI agent still will use first GPT, and now we can already see it uses Grok. It understands this instruction. It knows, it expects, response from the Grok. Then it will prepare the message and send it back to Telegram, hopefully. And bam, this is it. Workflow executed successfully. Let's see what it responded with. I'm Grok. I'm AI assistant blah 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 from X. I'm AI assistant built by X. That's enough to prove that a Grok was used. We actually saw it running in the background. What about the DeepSeek? Let's try that. Use DeepSeek. And I will just ask the same. Who are you? Press enter. Let's go back quickly. Oh, I can execute workflow quickly. It should work. Yeah, if you do it pretty quickly, it will still work. But look at this now. It uses DeepSeek, goes back, and it should send the message to the Telegram. Bam! Workflow executed successfully. Greetings, I'm DeepSeek R1, Artificial Intelligence. Alright, but what if I don't say anything? At the beginning, I mean. I don't want to use Grok or DeepSeek. I just say or ask, who are you? Press enter, let's go back. Oh, again, execute workflow, forgot to click first, but never mind. Let's see what happens. As you can see, it didn't go to Grok, it didn't go to DeepSeek, it responded straight to Telegram, without using any of those tools. Let's see what it responded with. Might not be super clear, but we can see it is response from GPT-5, but it says, I don't have the who are you output. Please paste it here. It simply tells us what it expects as an input. Let's just delete the chat and start again maybe. If I just start, let's see what happens. It refers to the instructions. Maybe I will ask, explain very shortly, what is an n8n for? Press enter, execute workflow. We can see it doesn't refer to Grok or DeepSeek. Let's see what's there as a response. Alright, n8n is an open source node-based workflow automation. That works. Let's compare it to response from DeepSeek. I say use DeepSeek, explain very shortly what is an n8n for. Press enter, go here, execute workflow. It hopefully now use DeepSeek as a tool, and it does. Now it will generate the response. And let's have a look what DeepSeek version looks like. It's pretty similar, it's even shorter than coming from GPT. And let's compare the Grok. Explain very shortly what is an n8n for. Press enter, go here, execute workflow quickly. And now it should go to Grok. And it does. Let's see. All three are very similar, but different at the same time. But basically, once you have it configured and everything works as expected, now you can make this workflow active. You can just click active here in the top right corner, you say got it, and now you don't have to keep clicking that execute workflow. Every time you paste something in your Telegram, this workflow will work automatically and will keep responding to all the messages that you post in that channel. That's all I wanted to show you today, but remember, if you want to learn more about n8n, then please visit Automation Avenue platform, where you will find now dedicated section just for n8n and for workflow automations and AI agents. So if that's interesting for you, please see that section, because you will find loads and loads of materials there. But you will also find like a Python programming materials or AWS Cloud that are kind of related and can help you in that journey as well. So thank you for watching. Marek.